Hi. So this is July 5th, 2025, the year of our Lord. Ah, well, happy 4th of July. So this is another update. We are day 9 with our little bird. That's how long we've actually had him. We thought initially that he was a swallow. Oh, my name is Theron Cole. Okay, we thought initially he was a baby swallow. But it appears as though maybe he's not. We've gotten some other intel, and a neighbor has said that he believes that he is a chimney swift. So our little bird came down the chimney, and now we are in possession of what is a very little baby bird. So 9 days we've had him, so he was not nearly as old when we got him as I had hoped he was. He maybe was only 2 or 3 days old, max. And so far, so good. On day 6, we almost lost him. I had taken him outside on the porch for the morning feeding, and he was just laying limp, and he looked like he was dying, and I think he was. And so I prayed over him. I prayed life, and that God would fill him with life. And then I tried feeding him just little tiny bits, which he was taking. Gradually, he began to revive. And then I realized that he had been in a growth spurt, probably, and that the feeding that I had been doing was insufficient. So I've learned a number of things. I did begin to, I scrounged up a hot water bottle that I had that I can handle. It's not a huge one. It's about maybe that big. And I put really super hot water in it. And I managed to do it holding him in one hand and doing the screw top in the other. And then I lay it down and I put over it one layer of a towel, the kind that has a velour on one side and the looped terry on the other end. I try to keep the looped terry away from him because he gets his little claws in it, and then it's very difficult to get them out. And he has to release on his own. I don't pull. So I kind of gently try to get him off, but I wait until he releases himself and goes into my hand because you can damage them so easily. Okay, so the other thing too is that, and he's really hungry right now. He kind of stopped chirping because I didn't respond to him. But what I also did was yesterday I went to another kind of feeding. I have a little stopper, it's like a, I think I maybe raised that too high. It's like for drops, okay? And this one isn't that good. I wish it was a little bit more powerful suction, but it's good enough. When you're feeding to their open mouth, their crop kind of lays a little bit to their right side, and I try to kind of stay over on that end while I put approximately the size of about 2 or 3 BBs, smaller than a pea. You know, I don't try to gag him. But if I can get the open mouth, what I have learned is this. If I blow on him, he will open his mouth wide and he'll chirp, chirp, chirp. And I realize it's because that is probably the whisper of the wings moving the air around him. So every time I blow on him, I found this out accidentally because I would walk with him and he would just begin wildly chirping, but he was feeling the movement of the air. So I believe that that is what that is. And it's helpful because I've been able to get him to really open his mouth just by blowing on him. But not blowing on him hard, just like that. Okay, the other thing I'm doing is this is the food he eats, the Gerber chicken, all pureed for babies. Any brand will do. This isn't a special plug for Gerber, but and I don't dilute it. When it gets warmed up, I take a pan. Can you see this in there? Okay. I take this pan and I put super hot water in it, and then I just set this in it, but down to about here, the water, and it will warm the food sufficiently. Okay, when that occurs, the paste that's in this just kind of softens and it becomes a lot more liquidy. Then what I did to add after the growth spurt, I thought I perhaps need to give him more sustenance. So what I did was we picked up some uncooked chicken livers, and I boiled 2 of them, and then while they were still kind of mushy and cooked but not hard, I mashed them with a fork and then mashed them again with a spoon, pressed really hard on them to get them so they were real goopy. Tried to stay away from the pieces that had all of the strings that liver will have in it. I tried to delete all of that. And that was sometimes clumps, So what was real pasty, I kept. And then I mixed it in with the chicken. And so he's been eating that. And I really think that's been helping. Now what I do with it is the rest of the chicken livers, I put in just a little amount like that. I had quite a few of them. So, and then I wrapped it with a little bit of handy wrap, just what was left. And then I put them, I have like maybe 5 or 6, what was left over from the other 2 chicken livers that I boiled. I put in a baggie and I put in the freezer. So now I have one that I'm taking out because I've used all that I had in the fridge. This helps keep it a little bit more fresh. So this will be defrosting, and this will last probably maybe 3 days of mixing it, maybe 4 of mixing it with the other stuff. So you're just mixing in a little bit, maybe 3 days. Yeah. So the amount is probably about the size of a dime, and maybe only about maybe a 1/4 inch thick. That would be 1 day's serving that I mash and stick in his. What I try to give him, the last time I fed him this morning about 4 or 5 dropperfuls, as I said, about maybe 3 BB-fuls, BB, like a little BB, imagine 3 of them, that's about what a squirt was in his mouth, approximately. And I did about 4 or 5 of those. Well, he just zonked. I had done the hot water bottle and laid that and covered it with 1 layer of the towel. And he was trying to fight me because he doesn't like to come out of my hand. And he was starting to get really fussy. But as soon as his underside connected with the little bit of warmth, he just kind of let go. And I was able to just dook out of my hand, and he was good. Well, he has slept and slept. For him, an hour and a half is really a good nap, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. So this is a little arduous, and I am tired, but I've had to rearrange my whole schedule. So that means I'm up a lot earlier, and I have to mimic the mommy bird, but I still can't mimic her. I am not up at the time she's up, I'm sure. But I'm doing so much better, and he needs it. I mean, I'm up a lot earlier. His first feeding, we started this morning about 7:30. So, okay, so it's going to get a little noisy now. Hi, little guy. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is that after he eats a little bit, he then likes to poo. And one of the things that he tries to do is he'll scoot way to the edge of my hand. This is a very tidy thing that he does. And then that little sack that I had talked about in the previous videos, he'll eject that, but he will lift up his tail feathers and he ejects it, which is marvelous, because if you can catch it, like when he does the backward moving and you go, uh-oh, that's with a degree of force, and you get him over, what I have here underneath my pan is just a plastic shopping bag. And what you can do is you just hold him over that, and he just goes, and very tidy. That's if you catch it. Occasionally he doesn't go for some reason when we eat, but he will then go in his bedding somewhere. So therein lies an issue where you kind of have to take that out. So I have one full change of bedding. Everything that I put in his bedding, the one towel that has the velour on one side and the nubby, that you can buy these. You'll find something that his claws don't get caught in. And the smoother the surface, the better. So I would imagine that a dish towel would work just as well. All right, so then I have a thing that also a dish towel, not a terry cloth type thing, but a dish towel would work very well. I make like a little nest for him on the top of the warm hot water bottle that has the one layer of fabric to keep it from scalding him and to make it so that heat it's much better. It evens it out, spreads it out better for him. Those are the two items that I have, that I use. And so I have one complete change so that I can wash them when they're dirty, which is about every couple of days. Okay, we're going to get him now. Hey, little guy. If he doesn't come, if I can't get him to release his feet, then what I do is I lift the whole thing. Come on now, get into my hand. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, I pull his body up. And if he's having trouble, come on, lifting one of his little claws, I just give him time. I kind of nudge it and urge it. Look at how much bigger he is. Can you see him? Look at how much bigger he is. He's got all of his little, okay. He's flopping around and moving a lot more vigorously. He's still not got fuzz on the underside. In some places, he's still bald. Oh, there he is. Look at how cute you are. Okay. So now we're going to do this, okay? All right. I've also been feeding him in his bedding, which sometimes works better. All right. So this is, no, he's trying to turn around. No, come on. Okay, now I'm going to blow on him. We'll get his mouth open. Little glob. It isn't registering yet. Okay, it's registering. He just needs a little while. And then when it gets down far enough, then he'll take. But I only do one until he registers it and it gets down. I don't want to put too much in there because it can get into his lungs. And you gotta open a little bit bigger for me. Come on. A little, a little wider. Come on. All right, another glob. I was having a lot of trouble feeding him with my little pipette as he got older, especially when he opens his mouth wide and then he shakes his head all over the place. I couldn't follow him fast enough. And I was extremely concerned because I found too what I would do is I'd brace his head just a little between and that helped if I could just hold him still a little bit. But the blowing, as you can see, it really helps. Okay, we'll just give him a chance to kind of, wow, that was quite vigorous. Oh, yes, he hears my voice and he starts chirping. The only time he didn't do it was after he was completely sated this morning, after his feeding. And then he zonked for, uh-oh, what do we have here? Is this going to be, what? Oh, I thought maybe, okay. I thought maybe he was going to do things. Okay, no, all right. Oops, he still acts like he's going to do something here. He loves this part of my hand. He just loves it. There's a rise on my palm, and he likes to put that part of his neck there, and I think it helps him swallow. And oh, so cute. But he's already a little bigger, and he looks like a little rough because you can still see the pink at the wing parts. He doesn't have fuzz there yet either, but his all of his little quills are standing up a lot more, and he looks kind of punk. He's so cute. He looks a little punk. And his claws got real long, his little toes, just in a few days. And James had looked at them and said, "What is that?" He said, "Something terrible's happened there." I said, "It's his little claws. He's just grown." You know, he'd grown and they looked kind of strange. What were they? But they got bigger. His feet, his little feet grew first, kind of like other animals. Okay, you ready for another bite? Okay, but you're going to have to open up wide, little buddy. All right. I have to try to hold him from going off the edge. There it goes. Oh man, I missed. Okay, that's a real problem, missing. Okay, so what I have here is little parts of a paper towel that I cut up like that. I dip it in the water. I'm right here. He got so rambunctious the other day that he fell in the water. I had him over the water, and he fell into it. Okay, well, I'm going to turn you around a little bit, so just scoot around here. You got food all over because I missed. All right, take care of those little feet. Okay. Oh, nice glob. In a way, this dropper is terrible, but in a way, it keeps me from being able to have too much to give him. Well, that was nummy, huh? Yeah. And then I kind of wet this a little, and then I just wipe to get the excess off because I don't really want this food drying on his skin. I think it might make his skin a little raw. So I do try to keep him a little tidy. And I just drag this. It's damp, and I just drag it across the underside of his beak and the sides of his mouth because his eyes are still not open. So his eyes are not open. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. Come on, you got to open wider than that, little buddy. You got to open wide. Come on, a little wider. Man, just got a horrible glob right there on his eye. But his eyes are closed, thank goodness. Now I got to perfect this because when his eyes open, you don't want to be getting food in his eyes. So I got to get better at this. All right. Now, apparently, according to Mr. Google, James looked it up, and according to Mr. Google, the mommy chimney sweep bird, and the dad, they feed the little baby equally. Apparently, they're both working very hard for their survival. It's kind of like a lot of families, huh? Yeah. All right. Now we need to give you more. Okay. That was a big bite. Okay. Apparently they do this from sometime around the beginning of August, although this would have been late July, for a month. Oh, a month. And he was a lot younger when we got him than we realized. So we were going to be at this for probably a few weeks. But then they get themselves ready Once they take flight and they begin to, they catch insects midair. They fly around and they're very, just like a swallow, really. But this is probably a little different variety of swallow. And then they get ready for migration. Now, apparently, they will migrate at a little bit of different times depending on where they are. We have these in a lot of places in the country. And apparently, South America will be their destination for the winter. So we have an international traveler here. Yes, indeed. But he can't tell us a thing about the country that he's going to. This one doesn't know anything. But they will travel in a herd, a bird herd. Yeah, yeah. Oh, look at, see, he's standing up so much. Oh, wait, I think we have action. All right. Do we? I thought we did. I'm ready for you, little guy. Okay. He tries to get to the very, very end. There we go. Both of our techniques need some help. Okay, go ahead and go. Go ahead and go. We're all right now. Everything's okay. It's all okay. Well, we'll have to try that later. He likes to get to the edge. I try to hold him so he doesn't fall off, but he's fallen twice. Okay, well, all right. Here we go, I think. So he didn't fall, but it was rather scary there. Well, he needs to go. He just hasn't gone yet. So he tries to get right to the edge, and I'm sure this is it's an instinctual thing. And then he goes over the edge, so it's away from his nesting area or where he is living. And he'll do that during the time that he's being fed. Well, that was kind of traumatic, huh? Oop, maybe we have another try at it. I don't know how to help you at this point. I really don't. I mean, I would like to, because you were right there. Okay. Well, all right. We'll see if we can get you in a better position. All right. So, kind of move. Yeah, again, I don't force these claws. If he's gripping really hard, I don't force them. Well, that was borderline. That was eventful, I have to say. That was a little bit of an event for both of us. Okay, we're back at it. How about another mouthful? See, I don't know if you can actually tell. But you can see the pink. Does that show? He's got the pink in here that's still not filled in. That's so tiny. Okay. But you're not in a good place for me to feed you. I like him to be right here so I can kind of brace him a little bit when I feed him. That's much better for me. This is a really terrible place for me to try to feed him on that part of my hand. Also, for a few feedings a day, I'll just feed him right in the box. If he's in a good spot and I can actually get it, because sometimes it's a little hard to get his claws disengaged. So I will feed him right where he is, and he does really well. But you have to get his mouth open. And again, I've learned that just blowing on him will do that. Can you release that? Thank you. There, that's good. Okay. You calm down enough to try to do other things that are serious. Oh, see, I can tell he's kind of trying to get into an angle here. All right. Oh, he's not happy with me trying to keep him in this one spot, so I think it's because he got interrupted trying to do his duty. But he's got a lot more liveliness with regard to his neck and the rest of his body. He'll clean his quills, or he'll separate them very carefully. I mean, it's already built into him to do this. You just feed him, and God does the rest. God has put his word in the DNA. The DNA is God's word. And it's in the DNA of our little guy. Oh, he's already wiped out. Okay, well, we're going to try to get you another mouthful here. So it's a balance. And you have to get it because his little life, his little birdie life depends on it. And so you sacrifice a few days out of your life so that a little critter, who keeps the insect population down, by the way, can have his day in the sun. Praise God. Okay. Well, now you know a little bit more, and at least you know what I've learned. Okay, well, you have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.